I started off working with her as a fund manager, and I manage her entire portfolio across asset classes.
So you are the person whom we need to speak more with. She was talking about the volumes and the investment.
But so the journey started off actually as investing, and as we were evaluating a lot of investment opportunities in the early stage startup, what we call the unlisted space, is where a lot of beauty personal care brands started reaching out to us. And believe me, we've looked at a lot of them across different stages of the company, and 2-3 things happened just around the same time, right? So one is, as I mentioned, these companies started reaching out to us for investment, and they did not only want investment, they wanted Deepika's sort of face. They wanted Deepika to be the face of the brand, right? So one option was for us to invest in other entrepreneurs, right? But on the other hand, Deepika always had dreamt of building her own brand. And that's when she and I were just discussing this, and she said, can you help me figure out and think through the right structure of approaching that, and sort of prompted me to do more research. Long story short, I sort of spotted a gap in the celebrity space.
And we had the opportunity to kind of partner with other people as well, but I feel like for both of us, just, whether it does well or it doesn't do well, I think for us it was really about doing it ourselves, because, we're both very passionate in that sense. We're also very particular about who we partner with, how much control we have, etc., etc. And I think therefore it felt like while there were very, let me say, easy options on the table, we decided to take the tougher route to do this.
And that is one thing which is unusual. And the second unusual thing is the misnomer goes that with a celebrity you'll usually have a makeup line, right? Why did you think about coming up with a self-care brand?
One, because it's authentic to me and my journey. Two, it's about the gaps that he spoke about while doing his research, and where we are as far as self-care is concerned, as far as skincare is concerned, in the Indian market. So I think it's a little bit of what the need gap was, and also being authentic to who I am and my journey. Doing cosmetics was probably the easiest thing for us to do. I think it's also a little bit of not doing what's easy, but doing what's right. So I think it was a combination of all of these things, the gap, where it sits in my sort of ecosystem, my self-care journey, curiosity from consumers in terms of my skincare routine, etc.
Okay. But it's been 1 month since you guys have launched the product.
Yeah. Exactly a month, yeah.
Yeah. So how's been the response so far? What's been the consumer feedback?
Consumer feedback has been great, and so has the response, right? I think, I was just talking to her the other day that we had a projection for month 1 in terms of revenue, and we achieved that in 5.5 days.
Whoa. So you're saying 1 month in 5.5 days?
Yes.
Wow.
So the response, we would like to believe has been fantastic so far.
But let me play the devil's advocate here and ask you, there has been a bit of feedback, Jigar, about how the prices are a bit higher than what the consumers usually want to pay for the same.
Yeah.
What are you doing about that? Are you taking the feedback on board? Are you looking at maybe reducing the prices?
So are we taking the feedback? Absolutely, yes. I think in any pricing conversation, the first and foremost thing to understand is benchmark. So if you compare our prices with, let's say, a 500 rupee product, of course we are expensive, right? I think the right comparison point is other very high quality, high performance, international standard premium brands. And if you contrast our pricing with them, we are way cheaper, right? By a factor of 2 or 3 or even more, right? So I think we are priced quite aggressively for the category and for the value that we bring to the table, if not better than some of the international sort of brands in terms of quality. And so that's just a little bit on the pricing. And as she mentioned at the start, right, I think we wanted to be very authentic from in everything that we do in this brand, right? And that permeates also into the product, right? If we build a product which she's not going to use, then what's the point, right? So the mandate really was to build a product that Deepika Padukone is going to use on her skin. And as a result, we couldn't compromise at all on any of the ingredients that we've used. And of course, that adds a little bit to the cost base.
As you pointed out, the vision is to make it a global brand as well, right? Right now, the product is available only on your website as a D2C model. What's the plan?
But we ship globally.
Yes.
Sure. But in the sense of, let's say, putting it in different platforms, taking a omni-channel route, is that something which is in the pipeline as well? And even in terms of the product profile, what's the expansion plan?
Sure. So let me take the first part of the question first, and then product is a slightly longer answer. So in terms of distribution, we believe in more startup MVP kind of a model, right? Where in the initial phase, you want to start small, understand consumer reaction, learn from consumers, implement that, and then scale, right? So for that, D2C made a lot of sense. Will we ever be omni-channel? Answer is clearly yes. But I think once the product mix expands a little bit is when omni-channel becomes more relevant, right? In terms of product strategy, again, we have consciously used a drop strategy of launching products. What we discovered within skincare, in addition to what she said, is there were clear pain points.
But guys, what's the vision? What's the broader vision? Let's say 3 to 5 years from here, where do you see 82 East really standing out?
I would say leading self-care brand in the world. From a financial goal perspective, look, we are entrepreneurs, we're bullish, and of course we dream to make this a unicorn in a few years' time. So that's how I would sort of encapsulate it.
While I think while we also want to focus on the business aspect of things, I think we also want to impact lifestyle and throw light on the importance of self-care. So I think a combination of that is where we want to be in the next 3 to 5 years.
Okay, and since you brought that up, what is your self-care routine? Because for some people it's that chai ki chuski, for some people it is just meditating. For you, is it that one chutki patchouli oil?
I think it's a little bit of a lot of things, but I think the key here is consistency. I think when it comes to self-care, anything that feels like care to you, I think should also come with consistency, which I think in today's fast-paced world, it seems to be diminishing almost. But I think whether it's that quiet moment to yourself in the morning, or whether it's the process of brewing tea, or whether it's your skincare routine, or whether it's staying hydrated, or whether it's eating healthy. I know people who kind of just do it for a couple of days and feel like, really good about themselves, which is also great. But I think in order for it to, for you to see lasting results, it has to become a part of your lifestyle.
Okay, consistency, and I'm guessing the consistency will continue in the business as well. Thank you so much, Jigar, as well as Deepika, for making time and speaking with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.